Hello everyone, welcome to this new video. So in the previous videos, as I have told you that I have discussed with module 1 some of the important set of questions. Okay, it is available in the playlist. We have provided it. So in this video, we are going to provide the questions related to module 2. Okay, these questions we have referred of all these from previous year question papers, model papers, and all of them. And we have tried to provide you the answers based on the question in a neat manner without referring any AI tools. Okay, we have searched it manually and we have found it to you all. So please, you should be supporting us. Okay, watch this video till the end. Also, this PDF would we would be availing providing you this PDF. It would be available in the description. You can check it later. Okay, so please listen to whatever I've told. These questions you can learn these questions and score above 70 plus. Okay, it's my guarantee to you all from my side to you all. If you listen to my questions which I provide, you can easily score the that marks 70 plus. Okay, so let us start with module 2 now. Okay, this is our playlist. Okay, you can check it out later and visit our channel link is available here. Module 2. Okay, first question is based on define organizing, discuss the characteristics of an organization and their significance in management. Okay, organizing is the process of arranging resources, tasks, and activities systematically to achieve organizational goals efficiently. It involves defining roles, responsibilities, and relationships within the organization. So, this is basically the definition of organizing. Okay, organizing means in general, you can say, right, what is an organizing? If you are organizing any functions, okay, that is what and all are the resources and what and all are the tasks which you need to be implementing during the organization. Okay, that is basically the definition of organizing. Characteristics of an organization and their significance. First is defined objectives. Every organization has specific goals that guide its operations. Clear objectives ensure that all efforts are aligned toward achieving common purposes. Its significance is provides direction and focuses resources effectively. Next is division of work. That is the how the work is divided. Work is divided into tasks based on specialization and skills. Okay, for a particular person who is good in that task, they would be getting that task, ensuring efficiency and productivity. Okay, next is significance, reduces duplication of efforts and improves employee performance. Okay, this is basically the division of work. Next is hierarchy. Hierarchy means the order of the work. Okay, next is organizations have a structured chain of command that defines authority and responsibility. Okay, that's basically the hierarchy. Based on the how much knowledge or how much skill set you have, you will be defined in that particular hierarchy. Okay, that for that level of responsibility you would be given. Significance ensures accountability and smooth decision making. Next point is coordination. Coordination between the employees or coordination between the family members. Coordination is very necessary. Okay, coordination is must. Continuity. Continuity means organizations are structured to operate over time, adapting to changes in the environment while maintaining the purpose. Continuity means you should not be taking any break during the work. You should be continuously doing the work and you should be making, for example, in some of the organizations, some people will be doing part time and overtime jobs. That basically comes under continuity. Okay, next is effective communication. Communication is very very required, okay, during any organization or during any organizing plans or organizing any functions. Communication, proper communication between the dealer and all the traders are very very efficient. Okay, so communications is very important in that. Next comes the significance part. Enhances understanding, reduces the misunderstandings, and improves decision making. As I've told you, communication, if you communicate in a proper manner, there are less chances of getting misunderstood or during some situations. Okay. Yeah. Next is flexibility again. Organization adapts to changes in the external and internal environment while comprising its structure. Okay. So next question. Explain the principles of organizing and their role in effective management. Okay. So this is the next question. Principles of organizing. The organizing principles are unity of objectives. Okay, and its role. It promotes to focus and avoids conflicts between the efforts. Okay, Next is division of work. Its role is that it increases efficiency by reducing duplication of efforts and improving the expertise. Next is authority and responsibility. It refers to the power to make decisions, and its role is to ensure accountability and preventing misuse of power. Okay. Next is span of control. Its role is to maintain clarity in communication and avoiding overburdening the managers. Okay. Next point is coordination. It eliminates redundancies and promotes the unities of action. Next is flexibility. The organizational structure should allow for adjustments to changes in the environment. Okay, it ensures that the organization remains adaptable and competitive. Okay, so these are some of the points, principles of organizing. There are some more other points. Actually, I have 8 points. Okay, if you want, you can refer it. Any so 5 to 6 points, if you write, it is more than enough. Okay, you can see this explanation. One is delegation and one is scalar chain. So yeah, let's get to the next question now. Define departmentalization and explain the process and purpose of departmentalization with example. Okay, so this is the next question. Definition of departmentalization. The departmentalization is the process of grouping related tasks, activities, or functions into departments or units to achieve organizational goals effectively. It helps in organizing work systematically and assigning responsibilities. Okay, the systematic work under any organization or any management level, the departmentalization should be very important. Okay, so in order to make the work, in order to make the flow of work in a very good manner. Okay, the process of departmentalization and the undergoes some of the factors. That is, first we should be identifying the tasks and activities. For example, a company may need functions like marketing, production, and finance. Next is group similar activities. Related tasks are grouped based on their nature of or purpose. For example, all sales and advertising activities are grouped under the marketing department. Okay. Next is assigning the managers and teams for a particular task which you have provided. Okay, under any department. Each department is assigned a manager and staff with relevant expertise. Okay, the managers and staffs are recommended in such a way that they should be particular in that in which skill set they are good. That particular work is provided to them under any expertise. Okay. Next is defining authority and responsibility. Okay, with a good hierarchy. So, example, it undergoes the production department that handles manufacturing, while the logistics team handles the delivery. Next is establishing coordination mechanisms, okay, to ensure smooth interaction between departments through meetings, reporting system, and shared goals. For example, regular meetings between production and sales team to align manufacturing with demand. Okay, so these are some of the process which comes under the departmentalization. Next is purpose. Its purpose of departmentalization is specialization, clarity in roles. Okay, the whatever role is provided to you, you should be having a clear knowledge about that, and also when it's required, you should be showing to any uh, consumer that you are good in that role. Okay. Next is improved coordination. Okay, coordination must be improved. Accountability, in order to improve the performance, which would be helpful during the monitoring and evaluation. The accountability is must. Next is scalability. Okay, expanding of any market easily by adding new departments is called as scalability. Some of the examples of departmentalization are under functional part, grouped by functions like HR, finance, and marketing. Under product, based on products, for example, different departments for electronics and apparel. Geographically divided by regions, for example, North America division, Asia division. Customer needs based on customer types, retail clients and corporate clients. Okay, so these are some of the examples. So let's get to the next question. What are committees? Discuss the types of committees and their role in decision making. Okay, so what is basically a committee? A committee is a group of individuals brought together to perform specific tasks, solve problems, or make decisions collectively. Committees foster collaboration and bring diverse expertise to organizational decisions. Okay, so this is basically a committee. It is a group of individuals which are they are brought together in a group to perform any specific task or solve problems. Okay, that is the collective decision making is happening between that set of people. Okay, that's called as a committee. Types of committee are standing or permanent committee. This is basically a long-term committee. For example, a finance committee responsible for budgeting and auditing. Its role is it ensures continuity and consistency. Okay. Next is temporary committee definition. It is a short-term committee created to address specific tasks or projects. For example, a committee formed to organize a company an anniversary event. Okay. Role of this committee is to focusing achieving short-term goals. Next is general advisory committee, a group formed to provide recommendations and guidance without any direct decision making authority. For example, an advisory board suggesting strategies for market expansion. Next is joint consultative committee. Definition: a committee with the representatives from different groups such as management and employees to facilitate a dialogue. For example, labor management committee discussing a workplace policies. Okay. So therefore, some more types of committees we have. One is academic committee. Its definition: committee to formed in educational institution to oversee academic activities. Its example and role you can see it. Next is religious committee, educational committee. Okay. So these are some of the types of committees. In order to make your answer short, you should not be writing any all of these. Okay, I've told you, right. You should be seeing the question and then you should be writing in such a smart way that the answer should be readable and very pleasing to the eye, so that the evaluator would be giving without blindly seeing. They should be giving the marks. Role of committees in decision making. Okay, some of the roles are collaboration, expertise, accountability, conflict resolution, okay, adaptability. Okay, these are some of the roles of committees in decision making. Okay, along with the explanations provided, you can see it later. So next question: define staffing and explain the need and importance of staffing in an organization. Okay, so staffing refers to the process of filling and retaining positions in an organization structure. It is a core function of human resource management and involves recruiting, selecting, training, developing, and employees to meet the organizational needs. Okay, so this is basically the definition of staffing. Need and importance of staffing: discovering talented and competent workers. This is the main important thing in staffing, that you should be in a position to discover the talented with who has particular skill set for that problem. Okay, that using analyzing that skills of that person, you should be giving them that particular task. Okay. Next is placing the right person in the right job. As I've told you, you should be checking for the skill set in which thing he is better in. According to that, you should be assigning the task to that person. That comes under placing the right person in the right job. Next is avoiding disruption in operations. Okay, that is any disturbances or any disruption could be causing to an utter loss in that operation. Okay, so that is avoiding disruption. Maintaining harmony and healthy work atmosphere. Okay, the work atmosphere matters a lot. Okay, harmony means peace. You should be maintaining peace, and the proper communication should be there within that workplace, and atmosphere should be clean and healthy. Okay, that you should be assured. Next is planning workforce requirements and employee development retention. Okay, so these are the key factors which you should be which comes under the importance of staffing. Okay, so yeah, that's all for this video, guys. We have discussed 5 important questions. So still more 5 questions are there that I'm going to discuss in the next video. Okay, so stay tuned for that video. Like, share, subscribe to our channel. Please do share this video and this playlist to a huge number, because the exams are coming near, guys. Okay, so please do watch it, do share it with your friends, and do like this video, guys. Okay, so we'll see you in the next video with some other set of questions of module 2. Thank you.